How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. Tonight we start a new build and it involves this. Yes, I know I'm not a JDM guy, but you'll like this one. Again, welcome back to the channel, everybody. So glad each and every one of you can make it. Yeah, I'm not a JDM type of guy, but I think you're going to really like this one. We're going to change the color, of course, more than likely the wheels, and definitely the decals. So the first thing we got to do is get this out. Alright, I got the magic sauce on there. Should be just about ready to come out. Sometimes it takes a second or two, but it will work. Look at that, it's starting to work already. Look at that. You don't want to force it because you'll mess your writing and stuff up. You might want to reseal this. There's always a little bit left in the brush you can add to it. And if you have to, you can always go back and add more to the brush. It doesn't hurt anything to put more on here. Okay, let me show you. Get the magic sauce over here. Oh, I'm sorry. Didn't mean to bump y'all. Very rude of me. You can add all of what you want. It isn't going to hurt a thing. Doesn't even matter if we get it in the car because we're going to be painting the car anyway. See, it's worked there. For some reason, right there and right there, it is holding tight. But eventually, there we go. Eventually, it always works. Okay? What did I tell you? Yeah, bad boy. Let me stick something in there temporarily so that does not seal itself back up, because it will. Let's have a close look at this. Uh-oh. It didn't work too well, did it? Alright, there we go. It's a super nice casting. I mean, I see why people really like this casting. It's a cool car and everything. Very good roller. Color looks good. I really can't see much in the way of defects. I see a few spots on the hood that I know I'll have to sand and file because the paint job that I'm going with on this, it needs to be really good unless I change my mind halfway through. So let's get this bad boy apart. Alright, got this already drilled apart. As you can see, that's all there is to it. Just a standard plastic base. Interior, which may or may not get painted. I'll definitely put a steering wheel in there, so it'll probably get a little detailing. Smoked glass. But yeah, that's all there is to it. So let's assign this bad boy a case, and I happen to have some sitting right here. And this one's going to be simple to name. It's just going to be called 510. Of course, the base will get painted like all my bases do. Like I said, I don't know about the wheels yet. I'm going to strip this first and see how I like the looks of it. I may put on something different. May not. Don't know. I've already got it drilled. Now all I got to do is put some screws in it. I'll do that before dunking it into the sister strip. That's all there is left. Not much to it. There's a lot to detail once I get it stripped and everything. But with that stated, it's not going to even resemble this at all when I get done. So with that stated, into the sister strip it goes. You'll see it next when we get ready to check to see if it needs to be filed or anything. Like I said, I am pretty certain I got to do a little sanding right in there. But see it in. Got her out of the sister strip, and I went ahead and knocked off that primer coating they put on there. And you can see, or at least I think you can see, just how rough this top does look. All that pitting on there, and the hood's the same way. So I'm going to, trunk's not real bad, but the paint job that I'm planning on using, this needs to be almost, well actually it needs to be a polished finish because I'm planning on going Spectre Flame. Don't know if I'll be able to, we'll see after I get it sanded. So I'm going to hit it with some 80. And people always frown when I say 80, but I want to cut that quick, and then 150, and then I'll stop at the 320. got it sanded. Wasn't going to go a whole bunch because, well, there's really no need. I can just the color that I'm going to use. I can go Spectral Flame or enamel, or yeah, enamel. But anyhow, I got most of it out. Let's try a little flitz just to see what happens. It might work, it might not. The only way we'll know is to try it, right? And it only takes a dab. See what happens. Wipe it off. That's pretty good, but I can still see a lot of scratches in there. Probably from the rag I just used. Let's try it again. Well, here we go. After a few minutes of polishing, I didn't put a lot of time into it. You can see that this thing has some issues. The pitting on the trunk, I mean, you just can't get away from that. Hopefully you can see it. And there's still pitting on the roof. And of course, I need to hit it with some finer sandpaper to get rid of all those fine scratches. But that's what we're faced with. So I think that I'm just going to go ahead and paint it an opaque color rather than doing the Spectral Flame, because that's a lot of sanding on this car that I'd have to do. And I'm scared that I'd lose part of those body lines and stuff. And that's just a lot of sanding that I would have to do. This is a rough casting. It was hid well up underneath all that paint and primer. It's not the worst I've ever seen. It's not the worst I've ever tried to do. But I just don't think that the end result that I'm going to get justifies putting all that work in. So, let's get the regular paint and everything. I'll have to go buy some because I don't have the color that I'm wanting to use. And yeah, we'll paint this thing up. Alright, we're going to try to get this done before the rain comes. It rained earlier, but it is looking like it's going to rain again. So, let's see, the base for the 510 is ready. I've got the adhesive promoter on there. I've got the car ready. I was going to Spectral Flame it, but I decided to go a different route. I'm using white sealer for this because I want the color to really pop. Test it, make sure it's spraying. Sorry you can't see it, that's my fault. Alright, it's spraying good, so I can go to the body now. Probably come back and put one more coat on that base. But the reason I'm doing this is because I want the color that I'm going to use really pop. So spray the inside first, as always. And all I'm using is auto-borne white sealer. All I'm using. Sit it over there and cover it up so it can dry, or keep dust off of it, not really dry. Let me stick something under that real quick. It's just to keep dust off of it. Take it off when I go in. Hit the base one more time real good. Make sure I coat everything. And the white that I have left, I've got plans for that. So with that being stated, I'm going to pour it back in the cup. Clean my brush out, and then I'll show you the next step as far as why I'm doing that. Alright, here's the next step I was alluding to. As you can see, got it primed all white, so she's good to go there. But she's not going to stay white, and the reason I brought all this paint out is so I can mix up some paint. The color that I am wanting to make that car is a pink, and I don't have any pink opaque paint, so I'm going to make some, hopefully. So all you do is you start off with your white, and you add in 1 drop of red at a time, and mix it up until you get the color you're looking for. And I can already tell that 1 drop is going to be very close to what I want. Very close. Let's do one more drop. That should do it. It's funny how 1 drop of paint can make that big of a difference. Oh yeah, we'll go with that. Most definitely. But you want to make sure it's mixed up good, the red and everything. And the reason you do that, you don't want to be, see like how there's some right there on the side? You don't want to be spraying and then have that gob of red come out. So you want to mix it up really good. Alright. Wipe off my mixer so I don't make a mess on everything. Get me another piece so whenever I go to clean that, and then we'll start with the base. Let's see. Here's the base. Blow off, make sure it's not got any dust in it. Put the pink in. Hopefully we have it mixed good enough. Give it a test spray. Coming out okay. And let's shoot it. It'll take several coats, but that is okay. That's why we mixed up as much as we did. Make sure to get everywhere with it. I don't want a Pepto-Bismol pink. I want it to be darker than that. So if it doesn't look like it's going to get any darker than Pepto-Bismol, I will add a little bit more red to it. There's what it looks like after the first coat. Now let's hit the body. Alright, let's see how this goes. I put some more red in it. Thinned it down just a hair more. Let's see how it does this time. Let me pull some of that paint off on the inside because I don't like how that looks. Alright, making a mess is what I'm doing. See how this goes. Definitely darker pink. Put a light coat on, let it sit for a minute, and then we'll come back to it. Check it out real quick. I think I'm gonna put one more coat and help it flash dry real quick. I don't want to put too much on it. Yeah, this will be the last coat. Make sure I get the fender wheels real good. One more coat for the inside too. And that'll do it. That's the color I'm gonna leave it and everything. Set it over here and let it dry. And we'll move on to something else. Just a quick recap. Here's the very, very popular Datsun 510 Seafoam Green 4-door car. You know, us being customizers, we always think we can do better than Mattel, and this is no exception, you know, myself included. I like the color, I like the car, but I think that I could do better, so I took it apart, I stripped it, sanded it, filed it, primed it, painted it, swapped out the wheels, added decals, and in the end, I am happy with it. I did a little bit of detail work too. Did the front headlights, the side markers, the brake lights. In the end, I think I did a pretty good job. You'll have to let me know what you think in the comments. Do you like it better than the original? Do you think I did a good job? What would you have done different? I'd like to thank everybody for coming along on the journey. I'd like to thank everybody for watching. And without further ado,